Would you believe if I tell you that the woman that you see here right now in front of you has weighed over 85 kgs? Not once, but twice in my life. Both times after giving birth to my children. I come from an education background. I've done my master's in education. And after years of learning, honestly, I don't think anybody prepared me for the biggest transition of my life, marriage and motherhood. Nobody hands you a manual on how your life will be after you give birth. Nobody teaches you how your mind and body will function after you deliver. Nobody truly prepares you for the biggest identity shift of your life. While I was growing up, I remember the only insight into childbirth and postpartum came from Bollywood. I know, funny, but yeah, Bollywood. It showed us women walking out of delivery rooms looking perfect. No mummy tummies, not looking pregnant, looking flawless, thriving, completely bounced back, as if nothing has changed. What nobody told me back then was that postpartum is not bounce back. It is a transformation. And I am very fortunate because my husband is a postpartum fitness coach and bodybuilding coach. I had the guidance, the motivation, the support. But what truly changed me as a person, my transformation, wasn't just my husband's expertise, but the fact that he was very kind, patient, and he work, smile, heal, and pretend that fundamentally nothing changed. But I tell you, something did change. And that something is actually everything. So maybe the right question should be, why do mothers need to bounce back instead of move forward? I remember standing in front of the mirror one morning after I gave birth and looking at myself. My body unfamiliar, my sleep fragmented, my sense of identity blurry, my emotions everywhere. And yet, everywhere I looked, social media, magazines, movies, friends, relatives, I had the same advice that came to me. Don't worry, you will bounce back. The bounce back was supposed to be encouraging for me, but it was not encouraging. It was like a deadline. It was like healing was on a timer, and like postpartum was a problem to be fixed. Which took me to thinking about the fact that there are so many women who think about this all the time but rarely say it out loud. What if I don't want to bounce back? What if I don't want to go back to the woman that I was? What if I do not want to return to that woman? Why are we expecting women to bounce back? Over the years, productivity has become the new measure of worth. How quickly you go back to your old self, how quickly you return back to normal, how quickly you bounce back and go back to being your old self, how quickly you return back to your old body. But motherhood introduces you to a different kind of strength, a strength that is not productive, a strength that means showing up at 3 a.m., a strength that means you show up for your child even when you're tired, exhausted, overwhelmed, overburdened, drained. A strength which means you put your child's priorities, their needs, it is unmeasured and it is very quiet. I remember every time I think of motherhood, there is this something that I always come back to. What if women do not have to bounce back from motherhood and instead move forward into becoming a new version of themselves? That shift in perspective changes everything, because suddenly the goal is not restoration. The goal is integration, not going back, but becoming. So instead of asking a woman or a mother that you see new, have you bounced back yet? Maybe this is what we should be asking her. Have you discovered something about yourself? Have you experienced a strength in you that you never thought existed in you? Now that you're a mother, do you see the world differently? Because the truth is that motherhood does not shrink your identity, it expands it. It introduces you to layers of resilience, empathy, and caregiving. Leadership, the kind of leadership that is not loud but quiet. The kind of leadership that shapes families, communities, and the next generation. So maybe the problem was never about mothers struggling to bounce back. The problem was always expectation. So when we remove the pressure, something powerful happens. Women start to see themselves differently, not as a race to go back to who they were, but as an opportunity to discover who they are becoming. So if there's one line that I want stays with you all today, it is this. Motherhood is not a race. Motherhood is a transformation. And transformations are meant to be understood. They are not meant to be rushed. So the next time, if you see a woman, a mother who's tired, looks different, remember this. She is not falling behind. She is evolving. And evolution does not bounce back. Thank you.